All right. All right. So this is my assignment 2, recording. Part A, you import random string, and then this is how you mount the Google Drive to it. Google.collab.import or the Google.collab import drive, drive.mount, and then you select your Google Drive. Okay. This creates a text file called score. If it's empty, then it doesn't print anything. It just says welcome to your math game. If it's not empty, it fills in your last score from the file, which is saved in a variable here. If there's an OS error, it tells you. And if there's any other errors, it tells you. If it's not found, it creates one for you using R. Okay, we make a max score variable and declare it global here. This is my math test game. It generates, we're using max score as a global variable here. We have to declare it within the function as well to alter it globally. A random integer, variable A is a random integer between 1 and 10. B is a random integer between 1 and 10. Generated, of course, you don't get to pick this. It generates a random operator between plus, minus, and multiplication. Here it sets the correct answers based on the operator you chose. If the operator is this, then the correct answer would be this formula. If the operator is this, then the correct answer would be this formula. If the operator was this, then the correct answer would be this formula. Okay, user answer. It asks for the result of input result of the randomly generated integers A and B and the randomly generated operation. It then converts whatever the user input into int. It checks if the user answer matches the correct answer generated here. If it is correct, then we increase the global max score variable by 1. If it's incorrect, we decrease it by 1. And that's all written to the file. Okay, so while this is true, this is an infinite loop. It will run forever until it is broken or false, which is never. It runs until it's broken here, which is when the user enters anything other than Y. If the user does enter anything other than Y, it prints this and retrieves the score from our global variable, which is also being written to this. Yeah, so that was the output I got. Let's see the sort.txt file. Oh, yeah, it's saved here using the right function. Yeah, that was output, quadratic formula. We print this, no big deal. We print the quadratic formula, no big deal. We asked for user input and convert it into an integer. I don't have any safety checks, but it wasn't required, so I didn't really feel like adding those. Sorry. Goes again for B and C, which corresponds to the quadratic formula equation. It prints your quadratic equation that you will be using based on whatever you input. I actually input exactly this 1, 5, 6. Okay, this finds a discriminant, which takes 3 coefficients a, b, and c, and returns a discriminant calculated as b squared minus 4ac. Right there. We then make a solve quadratic function, which creates a variable and stores the value of the discriminant function with our inputs here. If the discriminant is greater than 0, then there's 2 real solutions, and it calculates them using math.square root, and then it fills them in using f right here into this print statement. If it's 0, then there's 1 real solution, and it does this calculation, and it just prints what's stored in x1 right here, and otherwise it prints this. Okay, so this is essentially the exact same thing altogether, except we use this, which writes our equation into our file using the right function. If there is no file, then it creates one called this. And then once it performs a calculation, it writes the end result to the file instead of just printing it to the console. Yeah, that's that.